So you're new to making music. You're new to creating. You're new to putting things together as compositions. You're getting ideas. You're getting inspired. You're loving what you're doing. You're finding so much passion in your creations. I've been there. I've seen it. I've done it. That's how I came up. Now let me give you 3 beginner mistakes music producers make when they're starting their career. Let's do this.
The business.
Mistake number 1, not balancing your music. I know when you first get to creating, you first get to producing, you're starting out, you're new, you're fresh. You get your first DAW and you just start going at it, right? You just start putting drums over drums and melodies over melodies, and you have ideas here, you have ideas there, and you're just having fun with it, but you're not finding the balance. Let me give you an example. Okay, let's say you got a new track, you set up your DAW, you're creating, you're putting melody in, you're putting another melody in. You get excited and you put another melody in. Problem is, now you got 3 competing melodies going on at the same time, and to you that sounds amazing. But when it comes to the balance of it, it's just overproduced. There's too many tracks, there's too many layers, there's too much going on, and when you get to start thinking about that as a song, as a record, as a composition, there's no room for the songwriter, there's no room for the artist, and there's no room for these people to get their ideas out on top of your composition. So that would be what you call overproducing.
I have 4 melodies here. As you can hear, there's a lot of different melodies conflicting. Even though they sound okay together, it might be too much for a songwriter or an artist to really find their ideas. So let's find the main melody. Let's find the melody that would complement that melody and start to sequence the track from there by copying the track out, deleting the pieces that are conflicting, and then spreading it out, allowing the track to breathe. This is a great way to really create different A sections and B sections of your composition. Trying to keep all the sounds in at one time will only confuse the songwriter or the artist when they're trying to get their ideas. Now, the second mistake most young producers make is overselling or maybe even underselling their music. Let me give you an example.
Hey man, I got some banging tracks, man. Some of the best tracks you probably ever heard in your life, cuz. I just want to play you some of my music, man. I know that if you hear my music, man, I promise you, man, you're going to want to buy it. You're going to want to put your artist on it, man. You're going to want to tell you, man, I got that next level, man. The most inspirational, motivational top 10, top 40, #1 in the world music. Or I'm wondering if you'd give me a chance to play my music for you. I've created an array of music that I love and that I'm creating. Now, none of it is mixed and none of it is mastered. A little bit, I'm waiting to get an engineer to really mix my stuff. If you could listen to it and tell me what you think, that would be awesome.
What's good, man? I'm a young producer out here. I've been working my butt off trying to acquire as many skills as I can, and I really feel like I got something dope now. I have 3 tracks I would love for you to listen to just to see if I'm headed in the right direction. If you could take the chance to listen to 1 or 3, that would be awesome, man. Let me know if I can get your contact or if I can at least try to figure out a way to build with you and send you these 3. That right there is probably the best way to get a response out of somebody to get them to listen to your music for the first time without overselling it or underselling it. The third mistake most beginner producers make is not knowing the business of a music producer. When I tell you, I know so many producers grind and grind and grind and finally get their shot. A song pops off with the artist or they get that placement that actually becomes somewhat successful, and then they don't know what to do because they have not set up their business. As a music producer, you have to know how you get paid.
You have to know why you get paid. You have to know when you get paid. You have to know the business around you. Listen, I can go on and on about the importance of setting up a business, but you have to do the work yourself. For example, when I was just getting started as a music producer, somewhat around 20 years ago, I tried to find every book I could read about how to get started in the music business. And what did it mean to be a music producer or a composer or a songwriter or an artist or a manager or a lawyer or an agent. All of these things matter when it comes to your business. The blessed thing that we have right now is the internet and the search engines and all the answers that you can acquire by just typing it in. Type in, how does a music producer get paid? Type in, what's the difference between royalties and advances? What's the difference between publishing and royalties? What tax write-offs do I have as a music producer? What type of business should a music producer set up? I promise you, you type these questions in, you're gonna get a response. You're gonna get an answer, or you're gonna see a forum somewhere where somebody's gonna tell you how they did it. I'm just trying to give you insight because I know too many producers go and they get started and they just start cooking up, creating, sending their music out, working with artists here and there, and next thing you know, they have something going for themselves and they get jammed up because they don't know what they're worth and they don't even know what they're supposed to get. All the knowledge that I've acquired over the years have probably come 95% from doing research and doing that and understanding what my worth is. When you figure out what your worth is, you'll know when somebody's taking advantage of you, and you'll know exactly what type of deals that you should be taking for yourself, whether they be somewhat good or somewhat iffy. You'll make that choice and you'll be better off doing that way.
Let's break it down. Number 1, balance your music. Give your melody space and make room for your songwriters and your artists. Number 2, be humble but confident when you're selling your music. Don't overdo your pitch and don't undersell your value. And number 3, learn your business. Research all there is to know about being a music producer and make sure you set up that company before you become sought after.
I bring these mistakes up because, like you, I've had to go through all of these myself. I promise you, I want to make sure the next generation of producers, songwriters, engineers, musicians out there have it better than I did when I was coming up. That's why I'm doing this. I know that it's so much better to give than it is to receive. That's why I keep doing this week in, week out. And I thank you guys so much for your comments, for your feedback, for your love. Man, this thing is amazing. It's building. I can see the growth. And I love it. I love that it's organic. I love that it's not just boom and it's just blowing up out of nowhere. Because a lot of time, I'm telling you, I've met a lot of cats who've blown up out of nowhere, and it's so hard to maintain. I'm learning as I'm going. I'm developing. Hopefully you can see the difference in how these videos are being produced, and I'm learning every day with you, trying to figure out the best ways to give it to y'all on a weekly basis. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, why don't you go ahead, subscribe to your boy, like this video, go ahead and drop a comment, let me know any other mistakes that you maybe had to overcome, or if you're just getting started out, maybe you want to know about. And let's make sure that we can keep this community flourishing, community vibing. It's all about the vibe. Thank y'all so much for checking this one out. I'll see you in the next one, baby! Hit 'em up!